This is exactly what you had proposed for the spaghetti chart. So that's the spaghetti chart. And that's like a retelling of the spaghetti chart in a small multiple idea, where basically it's 4 times the same data, but the highlighted one every time. One series is highlighted. So we can now see very clearly that circulatory goes down when mental and musculoskeletal go up. And you even have the beginning and the end to help people make that connection. So someone could see instantly that between 1975 and 2010, the fraction of disabilities that is musculoskeletal has gone up by 9 percentage points, from 17 to 26. And here you can see like the axes are not there. You don't even have, it's percentage, so you don't need to repeat that. The years, of course, need to be repeated because we have 2 and 2. That's it. So if you saw that, and then going back to your point, is it too extreme and too simple? If you show something like that in a research article, people would not be shocked. They would like it. And the pie chart. So this is a pie chart that's trying to get you to compare this to this. And it's a bit difficult because we are not very good at the angles, because in between there might have been some rotation. So it's therefore, because it's difficult, for example, the earnings here, it's moved a little bit here. So you might think that this is less than this. So to help you, they put the percentages, and you see that actually it's more. So if that was the goal, to help you compare these two, that doesn't seem ideal. So here is a very simple way to comparison. If the objective is to do comparison, but you could just do a bar chart with the line on top of them. So that's what it would give you. You might be interested, you might say, well, but that's a bit unfortunate, is that you don't see from here that it adds 200. So what you did get here is that it adds 200. What you do get here is the comparison. So what could we do to try and have both? You have an idea? That's something that might work to retain the best of both worlds? Yes, exactly. And then I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to do this. So we do the kind of chart that goes like this, and I'm going to flip it. And this is what it gives us. So we see that it adds 200. And at the same time, we see that we can see the comparison by looking at, so it's very easy for Social Security, where it goes from 30 to 38. It's also ranked by the biggest first and the one where the biggest changes here. Of course, it becomes harder for earnings because they are not aligned to each other. The world's not perfect because if one changes, then not the other one. So he helps you by putting this line saying, okay, these lines are parallel, so it doesn't, this one hardly changed. These lines are like converging towards each other, so this one has changed a lot. This one is, almost parallel, and you also have the numbers. So I think this one really successfully conveys both that they are part of a whole and how the things change. So that can be very helpful when you have pie charts too. Here's another way to do it, and this is your idea on this is the equivalent without doing the bar. So it adds to 200. So these are I like this one less than the previous one, but it's kind of another way of trying to achieve the same thing. Of ordering, so this adds 200, and then you show where each thing started and where it ends. So it emphasizes a little bit more on the comparison than on the parts to a whole. That is something that Tufte would probably like. Is like pretty complicated. They are not complicated, but we're not used to them, so they're a little bit harder to read.